It's the amazing Rico Brogna podcast with your host, Evan Roberts.
Yeah! We are live from Citi Field, or maybe taped if you're listening to the podcast version of Rico Brogna. We're going to the NLCS edition. I'm joined by my man, Al Cintron.
Yeah! This guy was so nervous. I told him, don't be nervous.
See, he's the proof that I was very, very nervous as the Mets were 3 outs away from winning this series. I was. When Edwin Diaz comes in and he's freaking walking guys and he's not even close and the tying run comes to the plate with nobody out, I was nervous. And admit this, Al, you were nervous too.
Well, I wrote, I'm taking this video down. And then I didn't take it down. I wrote, I lied. So that's all that matters.
Look, this was everything about the Mets, this game. This game was everything about the Mets. You got really gutsy, good starting pitching from Jose Quintana. You had an offense that gave us the biggest piece of blue balls you'll ever see. Because how many freaking times from the first inning to the second inning, which was the worst of it, can they tease us with guys on base and not come through with the big hit? It was very frustrating. And you got to admit, I was a confident guy. I hung out with Al Cintron. I hung out with Positive Tommy. And they both had this, like, we got this. You have to admit, when they're leaving a country on base in the first few innings, and the Phillies score their run in the cheapest way possible on a little ground ball that Vientos can't play, were you nervous, bro?
I text my friend 6th inning. That's what we do it.
Did you say 6th inning? Well, look, Francisco Lindor is our king. Let's just get that out of the way.
Can you repeat that one more time for the idiots?
Francisco Lindor is our king. We bow down to King Francisco. Because one thing we shouldn't forget, as he put together like one of those majestic moments you'll never forget, guy's got a bad freaking back. Like, we can't forget that. He's playing through it. He's leaving it all on the field. But Francisco Lindor literally has a bad back. And look, I'm not a positive guy. I think you saw this throughout the game. There was a lot of negativity throughout this game. The one moment I felt really good about was when Francisco came up with the bases loaded. I'm lying?
You're shitting your pants the whole time. My man was on the ground in all fours, like when you're 4 years old, you have to take a piss and you have no toilet to go in. That's when he was sitting on the floor in the fetal position.
There was some fetal position. Yes, I admit that. But when Lindor came up, I stood strong. I was like very tall and like, I believe in my guy. Because here's the thing. Like, what I expected in that moment, because there's one out, this is right after Alvarez hit the ground ball to shortstop. I'm not even looking for a grand slam. I'm literally looking for, can you hit the ball to the outfield and tie the game up? That's all I wanted. You said double in the gap. Actually, you know what I said? This is a true story. And what made this experience very special tonight, I didn't have tickets. I did my radio show. Tiki Barber kicked me out. He said I was too obnoxious. I had to go.
Nice job, Tiki.
Good job, Tiki. I love you, bro. I'll apologize to you tomorrow, but you're my favorite Giant running back of all time. But we were standing kind of in the 300s in that area under the press box. And so it's me, it's Al, who's a diehard Met fan. For those that don't listen, you should wake your asses up. The guy's on a lot on WFAN. You're welcome. Tommy Lugauer, but not only them. We stood with 3 sports talk radio hacks from the city of Philadelphia. Not going to mention their names. It's not worth it. They're irrelevant. And why would you care? You shouldn't care. But we stood there with 3 Philadelphia sports talk radio hacks. And that made the Lindor moment even more special because for me, I had to be at the bank last Sunday. And I had to experience Philly fans in their worst state. And I got out alive. So to be able to be around just a few Philly fans, because there weren't many at the ballpark.
No. However, that banker that bought tickets, your peeps didn't show up, bro.
No. And you made a good decision not showing up. Because, what, you want to hang out and lose to a New York team again? That's right. I'll own the Knicks a little bit. New York team eliminated you again. But anyhow, I don't care about Philadelphia. But having to enjoy that moment when Lindor came up. But what I said to them and I said to you was, can we get a game-tying balk? I actually begged for a game-tying balk when Carlos Estevez came into that game. But Lindor is the guy who, honestly, you have to just trust in a big spot. And I know he came up earlier in the game in the second inning in a big spot and he struck out. But Francisco Lindor is one of those guys, and it's weird. you know I'm not a Lindor hater, right? I've never been a Lindor hater. Okay. When he first got here, I don't know why I have this vision. I don't know why. But I'm haunted by Beltran striking out, as we all are to Adam Wainwright. I love Carlos, but I'm haunted by it. And it was early in his Met tenure here. I thought to myself, if Lindor comes up in that exact same spot, I envision a double up the alley. I don't know what it was about him or what it is about him now. He's a guy I have always trusted, despite some of the struggles that he had and despite some Met fans, throwing dirt on him. There was something about him that I trusted. And yes, I get very nervous during games, and I'm not positive. He's one of the very few sports athletes that I trust. And how can you not at this point?
Saying it.
What you want? You want roses?
Saying it. People think because he's Puerto Rican, I'm Puerto Rican, that's the only reason. No.
That's not the reason.
Yes, it is. I loved him in Cleveland. I always wanted him here. He's here. He didn't start off right. The man always delivers. Always.
Bro, I think that this postseason run has already given us moments that have cleared the names of some of our players. Pete Alonso has been cleared. I mean, he really has, between saving our season in Game 3 against Milwaukee to what he did hitting a home run the other night at Citi Field to going deep in Philadelphia. Like, I think Pete, and even this game, like Pete Alonso he got him 3 times in this game. It's not going to be remembered because of all of those were innings where the Mets didn't score, so you kind of forget about it. But I think Pete Alonso has cleared his name. I think Lindor cleared his name a long time ago. I don't think he needed necessarily hit a game-winning. I want everybody to understand this and put this in their head. A game-winning, series-winning, grand slam home run, salami sandwich against the Philadelphia Phillies, and not just against the Phillies. I'll give you a small one. Against a reliever that half the fan base were like, why didn't we get Carlos Estevez?
I was one of them.
Were you? You know what? If he came here, Jeremy Hefner would have done something amazing. Right?
Probably.
Probably. But I think a lot of names have been cleared in this series and in this victory. And I have no voice because when I got here in the 4th inning. So I've been blamed that I got here and the Phillies took the lead. I walked in with 2nd and 3rd, 1 out. Just for the record on, did I give up the run? I don't know if I gave up the run. I think it was inherited by me not being here. 2nd and 3rd, nobody out or 1 out? Oh, you're blaming me for this crap?
You do realize we have nothing to do with it.
No, I know. We have nothing to do with it.
This superstitious nonsense. I used to be that way. Not anymore.
I don't believe any of it. It's just a lot of people do. So I'm trying to give the record straight on what happened. But I walked in at 2nd and 3rd, and it was very, very surreal because Tiki kicked us out of the show, me and Loogie, and we were going to take an Uber because my thought was I'll watch the game in the Uber. That seems pretty simple. What was that?
You didn't come in an Uber?
I did not come in an Uber because after 3 minutes, the Uber never came. And it said, still 3 minutes away. And I said, F this. So I ran to the train station, took the train, and we fell behind because when you're underground, you can't see everything. So I saw pieces of the Mets failing to score in the 2nd inning while on the train. But listen to this brilliance. We get above ground on the LIRR, and now I go backwards. And so I'm able to rewatch what happened when the Mets didn't score. So this scorecard didn't miss anything tonight.
It's really true what he does with his fucking score. It's really true. It's not bullshit material content. It's legit.
No, it's legit. Listen, I'm great. I wrote a book. I mean, come on. And they read a second book.
But I got to see this now in person. The Evan Roberts experience. My man is shaking. I had to move away because his energy was so negative in the night.
Okay, so I think the reason I had negative energy, and I don't know if you noticed this because you were very happy after the Mets won this series, as you should be. I did not jump up and down. I did not go crazy. I soaked it in and got a little emotional because we don't do this. We don't get to celebrate at home. We don't get to jump on each other in our own stadium. This is literally the first time in the history of Citi Field, unless you want to count Johan's no-hitter, which was a great moment, where we got a real celebration. We didn't win the division series in 15 here. It was on the road. We didn't win the pennant in 15 here. It was on the road. We didn't clinch the division in 15. It was on the road. We didn't clinch a playoff spot in 2022. It was on the road. Not that was a celebration. We didn't clinch this playoff spot. It was on the road. We didn't win the wild. So, to have this celebration is very, very special. And so when Edwin Diaz scared the crap out of us and finally struck out Kyle Schwarber, there was a sense of I can't believe this happened. Oh my God! Not to use the phrase.
Hey, Kyle.
Are you talking to somebody right now?
Schwarber. This is their thing.
Oh,
That's it.
I thought you were talking to your friend Kyle.
Kyle Schwarber. He ain't my damn friend. Fuck that guy. Kyle Schwarber.
Hey, Kyle Schwarber. Yeah, that was very, very sweet. But I think it was the nervousness of the moment. Like, I'm going to tell you an example, and I really hope to God we all get this example. The Mets are in the World Series.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, I know, right? And we're cruising. Like, we're about to sweep the Tigers. The magic on the Detroit Tigers finally ran out. It's 3-0. We're up 5-0 in the ninth inning. It's over. I would still be nervous because we're about to see something I've never seen. You remember 86.
I was alive and kicking.
I don't. And I think that sometimes when you're about to hit like this incredible moment, I do think this was an incredible moment.
Sure.
There's the fear of, is this really going to happen?
Wait, so we're 3-0, 5-0 in the 19th. You still gonna be nervous?
I think I would be nervous, yeah. I know. I'm a little crazy.
Get out of here.
I know. But this was really the full Met experience when you think about this game. Quintana gives you the 5 scoreless. Credit to him. I actually would have taken him out before he gave up that double to Bryce Harper. And I don't know if you were standing with me at this point, but I did say it to Positive Tommy. I said, look, the guy's pitch count's 87. Bryce Harper's gotten on base against him already. Drew a walk. Third time around the batting order. I want to go to a fresh arm. That's just literally the way I felt. And I think what Mendy did right there was they're doing a live on-field interview with Pete Alonso. I was like, Pete Alonso?
With his goggles on, he's already wasted, and rightfully so.
Yeah, he has every right to be wasted. That's for damn
go.
sure. Yeah, this is the ambiance of the post-celebration. But I would have pulled Quintana to start the 6th inning. Obviously, Mendy didn't. He gives up the leadoff double. They're already down 1-0. But he goes to Reed Garrett, who does a great job. And then the ace in the hole is David Peterson. And we are going to all have to have a very important conversation, not right now, not today. Today's a celebration. But I think on tomorrow's Rico, and I'll give you a chance to think about this, David Peterson's in the bullpen, bro.
Yeah, because they don't have a reliable lefty.
They don't have a reliable lefty. He has shown that he's got ice in his veins, late in games out of the bullpen. And right now they have a rotation where everyone deserves to be in said rotation. Quintana's been amazing. Manaya's the ace. I acknowledge him. Severino has been very, very solid. Solid would be the way I describe Sevy. 6 innings, 3 runs is Luis Severino. And obviously this Kodai Senga factor is a thing. So I kind of think that David Peterson is most valued for us coming out of the bullpen. And we saw that here in Game 4 because he was huge. He comes into a big spot to get Bryson's slot out, and he got him out and pitched 2 more scoreless.
You didn't want to take him out.
So, all right. So here's the I don't want to take him out. I know Edwin Diaz is the closer, and I do believe that ultimately we have to trust him to get to where we want to go. And as shaky as he was in this game, ultimately he got the job done. I just think when you have a guy like Petey who's pitching well, the pitch count doesn't matter. Don't you just want to win the game? And if you just want to win the game, why are you taking David Peterson out? Does that not make sense?
You also don't want to shoot Diaz's confidence. It's already shooting.
Is it about Diaz's confidence, though? It's about David Peterson can finish the job. And, bro, you've thrown 1 million pitches over the last week. We'll let David Peterson finish the job.
All right, screw it. Just win the damn game. I don't care who's in there. Screw it. Screw it.
That's the point. Just win the game.
Yes.
By the way, if you want to party, you're allowed. Don't feel obligated to stay.
No, my shit's in the meat locker. They said half hour after the game closes. That's it.
What do you mean the meat locker? What does that
It's a
even
locker
mean?
where you can store your stuff outside.
Is that true? So you stored yourself as stuff outside?
It is a reason.
What stuff were you trying to bring to Citi Field, Al?
Gotta have that protection on the subway, you know what I'm saying?
Bro, I understand. Look, I think that if Edwin Diaz had imploded the way it appeared he was doing when he walks the first 2 guys, and look, to his credit, he didn't implode. He got the job done. Striking out Cody Clemens I don't want to hate Cody Clemens. It's not his fault that he came from the body of Roger Clemens. But I hate your father, Cody. I think he's a giant douche. And I appreciate Citi Field putting up on the scoreboard. Cody Clemens knows the difference between a bat and a ball. Good job by them.
It's right there.
But, you took a picture of it. Nice.
Send it to his dad on Twitter.
If Edwin Diaz had blown that game, if Edwin Diaz had completely imploded, if he gave up a 3-run home run to Kyle Schwarber, aren't we all saying, how does David Peterson come out of this game?
But we didn't. It didn't happen. And we're going to the NLCS, so none of this negativity happened. Stop it.
It's not that. Listen, I'm just fairly breaking down the game.
No, stop being negative.
Should I mention how they struck out with Iglesias and JD when they had the bases loaded and 1 out in the first inning? I'm not going to mention that. Should I mention they had 2 on and nobody out in the second inning, bases loaded, and they didn't score?
They won.
I'm not going to mention that. Should I mention that Pete Alonso led off the 3rd with a walk and then JD bounced into a double play? Should I mention the 5th inning when Lindor leads off with a double? Ranger Suarez, who showed a lot of guts in this game, kudos to him, walks Vientos, strikes out Nimmo, and they're all set up. They get to the Philly bullpen, and my guy Pete strikes out in a big spot. I'm not going to mention that. Or mention Iglesias tapping out right in front of the catcher with a missed opportunity in the 7th to blow the game over.
They won the game. They won. Evan, you gotta stop. You gotta stop this. No wonder Tiki was gonna punch you in the face today, and I don't blame him. I heard this shit from work, and I go, yo.
But I'm saying I'm happy about all this. I'm just saying this game scared me because they had so many opportunities that they didn't cash in.
Here's the important question.
Yes.
Who do you want? Diego or LA?
So you're going to be the first guy to ask that question?
Yes, sir. Sorry, Tiki.
Look, I think that the San Diego Padres are inevitably going to be the team they face. I think they are the more dangerous team. I think that all comes down to not just the hotness, but the starting pitching. I mean, the Dodgers right now don't have a lot of starting pitching. So I think a part of me hopes the Dodgers comes back and wins this series. And by the way, I know a lot of you are listening. You already know the result. I apologize. I have no idea what's going on in Game 4, Dodgers-Padres. And honestly, at this moment, I really don't care. But I probably would root for LA because I think the Dodgers are a very flawed super team. Flawed super team.
I want the flawless. This has been
revenge tour.
This has been all about it. Demons dead in Atlanta. Demons dead in Milwaukee. Fuck the fucking Phillies. And I say F word a bunch of times. Fuck the Phillies. And now we end the fathers. And then the ultimate revenge tour. Yankees or Royals in the World Series.
So now we're way ahead of ourselves.
Fucking.
Look, I think that the script is great. Like, I'm not against getting revenge on the Padres, even though Joe Musgrove won't be there. Poor guy needs Tommy John. But I think when I sit here in these moments, and these are some of the greatest moments you have as a sports fan, where you know you're in the next round, and you're just like, hey, who do we want to play? Like, I always love that question because you're already there. So it's at the end of the day, it doesn't matter who you play. We're waiting for the other team. The only time I really passionately was there and had a strong interest was Yankees-Mariners in 2000 because I didn't want anything to do with the Yankees. I wanted nothing to do with the Yankees. I knew they were a dynasty, and I was very passionate that the Mariners got the job done. I wanted a Met Mariner World Series. Didn't want in 2000.
Yeah, the Mets had no chance there, but still, I wanted to play the Yankees.
You just said the Mets had no chance there, so how can you blame me?
Yeah, I wanted the Yankees. Why not? Screw it.
Yeah, in 2015, I do remember preferring the Blue Jays because I thought their bats had a lot of swing and misses in them. And I thought the Royals would give our pitching a lot of trouble, which unfortunately turned out to be the case because they were a very tough team to strike out.
Considering the run, nobody expected that. John Mayberry Jr. to start the season was our cleanup.
Well, but wait a second. What's this run?
Oh, this is it.
I mean, who expected us to be here?
This one is crazy.
It's insane. And I think once you're here, the expectation is, well, keep winning. Like, this team has magic. The one play I don't want to ignore because it's a magical play was the ball that was hit that went foul towards the end of the eighth. Was it Alec Boehm in the 8th inning? So Alec Boehm, 2 outs, runner on first. Phillies are a batter away from getting the tying run to the plate. And Boehm hits a ball that to me is clearly a fair ball. No question a fair ball. It's got Johan Santana against the Cardinals written all over it. I ran over to the TV monitor just to confirm, did my eyes deceive me, or was that a fair ball that they missed? I think we all know, especially those that are watching right now and watch the game at home, it was a fair ball. And looking at the replay, it was a fair ball. And I'm not complaining about it. I don't think any Met fan should feel bad about it. That's baseball, but it's a sign that we've got the magic right. we not only have all these big, amazing moments where Pete's hitting a game-winning home run and Lindor is hitting a grand slam and all that great stuff, but the ball on the bag game against the Phillies on Sunday Night Baseball, and then the foul ball that's called foul but really fair, like these are the moments that make you think this is our season.
And the best team, second best team. I think the Padres are the best team since the 11th series.
That is true, yes.
Padres have the best record, Mets are second. And why not us?
Why not? No, we have a shot. And what's so great is that we now have Thursday, Friday, and Saturday to do something that we deserve to do. And that's we need a few days to catch our breath because this has been the most hectic week and a half you'll ever see. I'm going to try to hear you, Pete. What's up, off?
I want to know. Tell me more about the celebration. Tell me more about taking it in. Tell me more about seeing the guys on the field because on TV it was awesome, but I want to hear from you guys.
All right. Well, first of all, let me try to move the camera so you can see the atmosphere right now. I'm not very good at this if you're watching on YouTube, but
there you go. Oh, there you go.
So you still have a lot of
the whole team's on the field with their family.
That is right. The whole team's on the field, kind of party, taking it all in, enjoying the moment. But as far as what the celebration was like, so when Francisco Lindor hit the grand slam, Citi Field moved like I've never felt it move. And I've been here, Al's been here for a lot of big moments, whether it's Johan's no-hitter, whether it's everything from the 2015 run. It was the loudest Citi Field has ever been. It shook. And yes, there was a lot of movement going on with all of us. That's a weird, I don't know what I meant by that.
Everything was moving.
Everything was moving.
Everything.
So it shook and it was loud. And I think the confidence in this building was like out of 10. I was the only one nervous until Diaz pitched that ninth inning and obviously got into trouble. When he struck out Schwarber, the place exploded. And look, a lot of people were celebrating Al, Loogie. For me personally, it was very cathartic. It was very like this because I wanted to take it in. And obviously the team was very excited. There was a lot of jumping up and down. It looked like there were two piles, one at second base, one at the mound with Edwin.
Edwin, when they came,
He was catch.
No, he said no because of what happened in the WBC. He went like this.
He did that because he did that in Milwaukee where he walked out. Like he didn't run out there for that reason.
He told him like this. Don't.
Here's the deal, Edwin. We have to have an important conversation. This is the NLDS. I'm okay with it. If this team wins the World Series, I'm sorry.
Well, then fuck his ACL.
Yeah, who cares about the damn ACL?
Sorry, Edwin.
You win the World Series, you got to go freaking nuts.
I'm sure you will.
I think he will too. But the crowd obviously stayed for a very long time. There's still a great amount of people that are here watching guys get interviewed on the field. Francisco Lindor right now is being interviewed on the field. So it has turned into quite a party. I mean, the game ended like 45 minutes ago as we record this. So people have stayed, they've celebrated, a lot of hugs, a lot of tears, because I think for a lot of us, this is still very, very surreal that this team has accomplished this to get to the National League Championship Series and get at least two more games in this building.
Before I go, because I don't want to hold my back.
Go ahead.
Fans, stay positive. Evan, I hope when this NLCS starts, you'll lose the negativity. I doubt it. And if he does get negative, Tiki, punch him in the fucking face. Let's go Mets, baby. Have a good one. Be safe. Let it off.
I'm glad I got to celebrate this with Met fans, with Al, with Positive Tommy. I wish my dad was here. No, he's not dead. He's just at home because we weren't planning on coming to this game. You know, when it's a 5 o'clock start, like I certainly didn't think I was coming. I didn't come yesterday either, but I made the effort to at least be here for the last 5 innings, and I'm glad I did. Luckily, we've got more. We're not done yet. So for my dad, for my sons, for all of you who may not have had a chance to be at Citi Field, we've given more opportunities. Game 3 of the NLCS is going to be on Wednesday, a week from today. Game 4 would be Thursday. If necessary, Game 5 would be Friday. And the idea that we are going to get championship series games at Citi Field is insane. It is remarkable. Now, with that said, Hoff, if you have any more questions, because what I'm going to do, and I think what we should do with the Rico is, look, this is a crazy celebration. My voice is dead. We will continue to do Ricos every day, recapping this division series, looking ahead to the league championship series. So we'll continue to provide you almost daily Ricos getting set for Sunday night, which would be game 1 of the NLCS. Any other things I may have forgotten about that we should touch on before we call it a night from an ecstatic Citi Field for this live edition from City of the Rico?
I just want to say for myself, I had a proud dad moment because as I'm sitting here obsessed with the team, my two of my guys, JD and Anthony, were celebrating with me and excited. And let's go Mets. And I think I might finally get them to be Mets fans. So let's go.
There you go. Hey, the best way to get kids to love a team is a run like this. That's the reality. Like, look, I didn't become a fan because of a run. I was kind of forced into it from my dad. The Mets were the worst team ever. But sometimes that run will get you excited. And I'm glad you had a proud dad moment. I had one too, believe it or not. My wife texted me a picture of my oldest son, Jet, scoring the Met game without me, which is like the ultimate wow. And I don't know if he got through the whole game. I do know that they watched the Grand Slam together. My wife, my 2 sons, Jet fully understood what was going on. My youngest Spence was like, what happened? Why? Is that good? Why? What happened? Why? And hopefully my wife and Jet were able to explain it very well. But here's the good news to my boys. If the Mets have a chance to win the World Series, I promise you, you'll be in the freaking building. I can promise you that. And hopefully we get that opportunity. This has been an incredible dream run. It's been amazing as a Met fan. We have to cherish this. I apologize for being negative during games. I think it's just in my DNA. But right now, I'm as positive as anybody because this team, a team that was buried 150 times, is going to the National League Championship Series. Let that marinate. The New York Mets, dead and buried 5,000 times. The team sucks. The core sucks. Everybody's got to be traded. This franchise needs a colon cleanse. That team is playing for the National League Championship, and we can't wait, baby. So I appreciate you tuning in. I'm sure a lot of people are listening to this well after the fact because they're partying on their own, and I respect that. We will continue to give you Ricos every day. But I'm going to climb this crap until we get to the NLCS Sunday night from California. Thank you very much. I want to thank the Mets for allowing me to do a Rico here at beautiful, gorgeous Citi Field. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. LFGM, pinch yourself. We're going to the National League Championship Series. Thank you for listening to Rico Brogna.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of the Rico Brogna podcast. It's amazing, isn't it? Make sure you download it now to keep it on you at all times.